And welcome back to our NCAA football win total series. We are continuing on in the ACC, and we are with SMU. And SMU has had to do a lot to rebuild from that death penalty in the 80s. When they restarted in 1989, they didn't make a bowl game until they switched to Conference USA, and June Jones was there in 2009. He led them to 4 straight bowl games, then was 5-7 in the move to the American, started 0-2 and was gone in 2014. Chad Morris shows up. 2017 gets him to a bowl. Sonny Dice takes over. 2019 gets him to a bowl. He's gone after 2021. They were 8-4 that year. Rhett Lashley shows up in 2022, 7-6 that year. And then that brings us to last year. They open up with a win against Louisiana Tech. They lose at Oklahoma, destroy Prairie View A&M, and then lose at TCU, and then go on a winning streak. Charlotte at ECU, Temple, Tulsa at Rice, North Texas at Memphis, Navy, and at Tulane in the AAC championship game. That gets them to a bowl game. They play in the Fenway Bowl where they lose to Boston College 23-14. But for Rhett Lashley in his second season there, it is an 11-3 season, 8-0 in the AAC. And now they're on to the ACC. And when we look at this team this year, we got to start at quarterback. Preston Stone's back, and he was solid last year. Stone can run a little. He had 28 touchdowns last year, just 6 picks. He spreads the ball around well. Jake Bailey's back. RJ Maryland, the tight end, is back. He's a stud. The receiving core is loaded. Gives Preston Stone lots of stuff to work with, and he's got a good offensive line protecting him. Logan Parr and Justin Osborne are great offensive linemen, and the rest of the starting five is pretty good. Running game's okay. They have Jalen Knighton, LJ Johnson, and Kamar Wheaton. They combined for 1,500 yards last year. They are all back this season. Look at the defense. Elijah Roberts is the main man on defense. 10 sacks last year. The interior has a pretty good defensive line, but they also added up some young guys in the transfer portal. They got Jonathan Jefferson from Georgia, Anthony Booker from Arkansas, Mike Lockhart from West Virginia. 7 of the top 11 tacklers are back overall. They have Kobe Wilson and Ahmad Walker, who were studs in the AAC last year. My biggest concern for the defense is the secondary. It's not as strong as the rest of the defense. They did bring in the transfer from Texas A&M, Deuce Harmon. That will help. Big thing, though, for them is going to be the run game. When they ran the ball well, they won. When they didn't, they struggled. They also struggled in run defense a lot last year, and their worst games were against Power 5 schools. When they allowed less than 190 yards rushing, they were 11-0. 0-3 when they allowed more, and I worry about that jumping into the ACC this year. When we look at the schedule, SMU has a Week 0 game. They open up August 24th at Nevada. That will be a win. They come home August 31st against Houston Christian. That should be a win as well. And then September 6th, they get BYU at home. I win there as well. So a 3-0 start heading into their first bye September 14th. September 21st, they get TCU at home. I think that's a loss. September 28th, they get Florida State at home. That's a loss. And then October 5th, they're at Louisville. I lean loss there as well. Then bye number 2 hits at a great time, October 12th. They have to head to Stanford October 19th. I actually lean loss in that game. I think that's going to be a tough game to go to. Stanford doesn't have a lot of home fans, but I still think that's going to be a tough one. October 26th at Duke, I lean win. November 2nd against Pitt at home. With it being at home, I do also lean a win. They get their third bye on November 9th before November 16th hosting Boston College. I lean win in that one. November 23rd at Virginia, I would also lean a win. And then they host Cal November 30th, and I'd actually lean loss potentially in that game. Or sorry, lean win in that game. That's a real toss-up. I can see them losing that one as well. When we look at it overall, though, it's an 8-win season for SMU. The over-under is set at 8.5, and we're going to take the under. Under 8.5 at -128 on FanDuel, and that is going to be our pick in this one. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and check us next time.